Hello and welcome. You are now looking at Alibaba.com. It is used by entrepreneurs and considered to be the top wholesaler for online entrepreneurs to use in order to sell products on Amazon.com and eBay.com and other sites like Shopify. And in this course, we'll be learning more about how you can leverage Alibaba.com. So this is a success guide for Alibaba.com. Now in this overview, we're going to be talking about what Alibaba is and why it matters to entrepreneurs. Now if you like to market physical products instead of just information in your online business, you do need a selling idea and a supply or supplier. And entrepreneurs can now source their products from China through internet supplier Alibaba. Now, Alibaba is the largest e-commerce company in the entire world, and it's even bigger than Amazon and eBay. It is the connection point for entrepreneurs between sellers from Asia and wherever the entrepreneur is. In most cases, we're talking about the United States, the United Kingdom, or Australia. Now, the company's catalog, Alibaba, is massive and has millions of products from suppliers that number in the hundreds of thousands. Now, you might be asking why, in addition to being the largest retailer, that entrepreneurs in particular look at Alibaba. And the primary reason is that companies look there because they want to take advantage of low manufacturing costs of the suppliers in Asia that are connected to Alibaba. Typically, for the same kinds of items, costs are going to be dramatically lower than those you might find if you were going to purchase in industrialized companies in North America and other countries that we've mentioned. Now, there are other reasons that entrepreneurs have begun to look to Asia in general and Alibaba in particular, and not all of those reasons revolve around manufacturing costs. So you might ask now, what are the advantages to using Alibaba? What are some of those other reasons? Well, we talked about the fact that goods typically have low manufacturing costs from the suppliers in Asia. But suppliers on Alibaba tend to work with smaller entrepreneurs, whether or not they work through their smaller arm, Alibaba Express, and they give small entrepreneurs the opportunity to deal in quantities of physical products in ways that fit their business. And what you'll find is that there are a substantial number of suppliers in Alibaba to work from in most physical product categories. And this is, of course, an advantage for entrepreneurs that are looking for the best possible price, the best possible product, and something that they can eventually brand into developing a company or developing a niche inside of both Amazon, eBay, or any other retailer. Now, in some cases, Alibaba's suppliers are the only ones who actually manufacture certain items. So you can only get those items from the Asian suppliers through Alibaba. And of course, then the product interface makes it easy to source Asian suppliers and purchase from them. So Alibaba's interface makes it intuitive and takes the intimidation factor out of actually going in, looking for a product, and finding a supplier. Now, of course, then there are some disadvantages to using Alibaba also. Customers tend to have a low opinion of goods in general from China, and that is going to be the case regardless of what it is that you're going to be selling and or retailing. Now, the other thing is that Alibaba-based manufacturers sometimes have lower quality and labor standards than companies in the West, so you'll have to overcome that in your marketing. Now, the other thing is that intellectual property protection is virtually non-existent. That means that you probably won't have exclusivity in a product area that's really selling, and it's going to be difficult for you to come to market with something that's totally unique. So this again is going to be something that you'll have to overcome in your business strategy and in your marketing. Now, the other thing is that people who are sourcing the products will have to overcome the language barrier, both in culture and understanding, as they deal with manufacturers through Alibaba. Of course, it's also difficult to actually go to the site and verify the manufacturer and verify their processes. Now, there are ways around that we'll be talking about in this course. And of course, shipping times tend to be longer because your product has to travel further. And of course, again, there are going to be some cultural differences in the business practices as well as in the relationship that you'll be developing with the people that you'll be doing business with. And again, this is something that you'll have to overcome not only in your marketing, but you'll have to overcome it in the way that you conduct your relationships. Finally, there's little to no recourse when something goes wrong. Now, there are ways around that. We'll be talking about that in this course. But if something goes really wrong, there isn't going to be a lot of very fast recourse for you to be able to take. So this is something you'll need to be taking precaution up front. You'll need to take care of these aspects as you start to get into sourcing your product and finding reputable manufacturers that you want to be doing business with over time. So now that we've done this overview, we're going to get into how you can be successful with Alibaba.com. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.